right? I couldn't
no.
import one right now. Legally.
Good question. I don't think you could.
No?
I don't think so.
Okay.
That's a better question for John Paul.
Yeah.
Because I don't know if you could import one here and you would be okay, but you just wouldn't have anywhere to get hydrogen right now.
Well, I could go to Écoutez. They have one. Okay. And I live in Trois-Rivières.
He lives in Trois-Rivières, so he's 15 minutes from the only charging station here.
You might
so
be
you
able.
see?
Okay, yeah. You'd have to ask him if it's.
Yeah, I'm gonna ask
if it's legal to import. I'm not sure.
Yeah, and about Toyota plans to commercialize it in Canada. It's also Jean Paul.
Yes, that I don't
You
know.
work for Toyota?
Contract by Toyota, yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, but you with Capital Image?
No, we're with Royal, so we handle the automotive stuff, and that's why we're here. Yeah, but all the Toyota future plans for sales in Canada, they didn't tell me yet.
Okay. Do you know some technical specs about the car?
Yep.
So it's a fuel cell that feeds a small battery.
Right.
The battery is lithium ion, I guess?
No, nickel metal hydride.
Okay, like the Prius.
Right.
The certain Prius, because I think the Prime is now...
It's a larger battery than the Prius. It's more Camry sized, the Camry hybrid. The battery is about that size.
So it's like what, 1 kilowatt hour or something like that?
Another good question. We were told it's Camry sized, so bigger than the Prius, and of course the electric motor is much bigger than the Prius.
Okay, so that's the only difference. So the fuel cell has to run all the time because the batteries...
So if you remember in the Prius, it had our energy monitor.
Yeah.
As we drive, it'll show you the same thing, where we're using power from the battery or from the fuel cell to drive the motor, and then to the wheels.
So the one on the left is the battery, so it's like...
Yeah, our middle one there is the battery, which is low right now, and then our fuel cell is over here, and it will show the arrows and the combinations it's doing to get us moving.
Yeah, and how much power does it generate in kilowatts?
Kilowatts, they've given us horsepower ratings.
That's not interesting.
No.
I want to know kilowatts, because I know how much kilowatts peak you can get from the Volt, you can get, from any EV. So that's why...
JP, or I can ask, Jean Paul.
Okay.
They gave us like horsepower and torque, which, if you want to know exact kilowatts, you might have to check for you.
Yeah, of course the regular automotive guys, they all want HP, but I'm not a... I'm in the electric field, EV field, so that's why I'm asking you that kind of question.
Yep.
So anyway, cruise control is here. Is it adaptive or the cruise control?
Yep, it's radar guided. So all of those features that are, they're not anything to do with just the hydrogen fuel cell. They're shared with the Prius and all the Toyota safety features, right? Okay. So lane departure alert, so it'll pick up the lines and let you know when you've crossed over and give you an alert. All that stuff is in the car. It's not just to the hydrogen vehicle. That's shared throughout a lot of the Toyota line. Okay,
it has CarPlay and stuff like that?
It doesn't have Apple CarPlay, no.
It has the Android one? No?
You know what?
Home, GPS, audio. Yeah, select device. But I will move.
Let's go get stuck in the traffic.
Yeah. Okay, let's go.
We can speed up a little bit,
well,
but we don't have any... Here, but,
there's a kind of noise. It's the drive system that does that?
You can hear the electric motor, yeah.
Okay, that's the electric motor that does that.
Now they have told us that you can hear the fan that is bringing air into the fuel cell.
Okay.
And you can hear the fuel cell injectors, but I don't notice them while we're driving. They say you may be able to hear them, but I think it's too quiet.
So the is the
electric motor.
The electric motor.
Yeah.
It's crazy here. Traffic.
The only thing is if we go right anywhere, we're into so much construction that we were just kind of doing a loop at around McGill and back. But
okay. JF, t'as filmé le tableau de bord?
Oui. En haut, oui.
Oui? Comme ça, c'était 353 qu'on avait, hein?
Je sais pas.
Ok, mais tu l'as filmé, fait que
oui,
en rapproché, là?
Je vais le rapprocher, puis je vais le...
Ouais.
Là, la lumière reste à gauche, continue tout droit. Well, stay on the left and we'll continue to go for there.
Is there a kind of odometer trip A, trip B?
Yeah, so that will be over here, sorry.
Okay.
Trip A, and press it again
B.
for B.
Okay. Let's keep it at B.
Okay.
Because it's probably 1 kilometer, that's probably me who did that, right? I mean, if it's at 1, it was probably at 0 when we left.
It might have been. Yeah. Unless that's showing us our...
It's really different from an electric car. The torque is not instantaneous. It's not instant. It has a lag.
Yes.
You see? It has a lag, like a gas car. It feels heavy, that's for sure. It feels. So what I understand is that it's only the electric motor that drives the car.
That's right.
And it's front forward wheel, right?
Yes.
What about the weight distribution? Is it 50-50? Because the engine, the electric motor is up front. That's the motor we see?
Yes. But there's no heavy gasoline engine up front like a conventional vehicle, right?
Yeah.
So you're going to save some weight there. I think the weight is very close to 50-50. We can double check with John Paul.
Okay.
I know it is a little bit heavier than normal for this size car, but I know the weight is also in a lower center of gravity. So it doesn't affect the handling as much as it would.
Okay, and where is the fuel cell engine?
The fuel cell is where the gasoline engine would normally be.
Okay, so and the AC motor is in front also?
Yeah, so it's...
okay.
Tu veux accélérer, c'est un bon spot ici. It's a good place to do because there's no traffic, no parking, no...
Okay. It's the suspension is smooth, very smooth suspension. It's not a sporty car. Then I see there's some region there, right?
Right.
By the arrows?
Yes.
Okay. There's no kilowatts indication? There's no kilowatts meter?
Okay, turn here. Go a bit in the street and then do a U-turn.
Okay, I do a U-turn here.
U-turn here and you will come back.
Okay. At the back. So I guess the tank is in the back, right? The fuel tank?
2 tanks are in the back.
There's 2 tanks?
Yeah.
Why 2 tanks?
Oh.
My God.
2 tanks is for space. Like, and it's probably heavy because it's very solid, right? Yeah.
So that's why there's.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, there are a couple hundred pounds, I think.
Okay, because in my opinion, we easily, for the wheels in the front wheel but it doesn't feel powerful, so it's because there's less weight and then there's a traction loose. So it's probably 50-50.
probably very close, yeah.
Yeah. I think it would be better if it was rear wheel drive. Because when you accelerate, the weight
for performance,
goes
it would be, yeah. But it's never.
It's not intended.
It's not supposed to be a Tesla, no.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I guess that what you want to show is that you have it has lots of range. So for highway driving, it's no problem. It's a good highway sedan.
And 5-minute refuel.
Yeah.
Not half-hour to an hour charge.
And it sells 60,000 US in the States?
US pricing, yeah.
That's
California
before
price.
incentive, right?
Right.
Go.
Yeah, 0 to 60 is 9 seconds.
Okay. And do you know when the Prius Prime will be available in Canada?
I don't know.
You don't know?
No. Jean-Paul, yeah.
Jean-Paul is in charge of everything electric.
He's the main guy for these events.
Okay.
For PR, I guess. And we're here to support him on the drives because he can't be everywhere at once.
Yeah.
But yeah, he has all that information. I'm just kind of supporting him on the drive.
It's the interior is more luxurious than a Prius, for example. It's yeah. Every EV has a different noise from the AC model.
Yeah.
So we did about 4 kilometers, 3.6 if I... And how do you fill it out with hydrogen? It was pre-filled in...
Yes, this one...
you probably have your own, I guess Toyota has its own hydrogen station?
No, we don't actually, or Toyota doesn't. There's a place just outside of Toronto that can fill it. It doesn't have the high pressure system, so they can only fill it to half full.
Okay.
Okay, because there's 2 different systems in place and they only have it's around 5,000 PSI is their max. So because it goes by pressure, that only gives us about half a tank. You need to have the higher pressure.
The full tank is like 10,000 pounds.
Just over 10,000 PSI, yeah.
Okay. And so how did you get it full? Because it's like 3/4 right
I think
now.
it was fueled in California.
Okay. So you fueled it and then you shipped it
And then it came here, yeah.
through train or whatever.
Yeah,
a truck.
Enclosed transport truck, yeah.
Yeah, okay. And the station in Trois-Rivières, does it work at 10,000 PSI?
That I don't know. Own office here.
Okay.
So.
La clé. Ah. C'est un keyless system. Can we open this? Ah, yeah. USB? Oui, USB. C'est capable de voir.
Faudrait que je le tienne complètement. Je sais pas s'il va le mettre. Peut-être.
Okay, the fuel cell power, it's in percent. It's not in kilowatts.
No. I was looking for kilowatts for you, but...
You didn't find one?
No.
And then
right in here, yeah,
Here,
where
here.
the cutout is.
I get it. There's no proximity sensors?
There is, yeah.
There is? Where are they?
The actual where they're located outside?
No, I mean, they should see that.
Oh, when you get closer, you'll get
you get an
audio beep.
Okay,
yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm not close enough.
Cool.
Park
GF,
is like the Prius. Yeah.
That's it?
That's it, and then your blue button is to power it down.
GF.
Wait.
Voilà.
Thanks.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, I did, but maybe you can explain me what is what. Everything is thin.
Not everything is very accessible to see.
Okay.
Because it looks like the top of the gasoline engine on a conventional Prius,
Yeah.
right? The fuel cell stack is to the back and down, which is hard to see. Okay, your top here is the main, basically computer telling everything what to do.
I mean this.
Underneath that, yeah.
Okay.
That's going to be main computer.
Main computer.
Basically.
Okay, and what is that?
This is air to come in.
Okay.
It head feeds right into the fuel cell stack.
Okay.
All right.
Below, that's the traction motor. That's the EC motor, right?
Well, down under
because we see that it drives the wheels, right?
Right.
Yeah. Okay.
So it's going to be electric motor into transaxle axle first.
Okay. It's like any EV. It's only one speed. There's no transmission.
Right.
That's how I feel it when
Right.
I drove it. Okay.
Yeah. The thing with this transaxle, remember, is that it's got to be able to switch to regenerate the braking force.
Okay.
Between the other
Where's the water pipe?
out the back. Yeah. So
It's important.
it's where the exhaust pipe would be.
Yeah. Okay.
This side of the back.
Okay. What are you doing? Okay. And what will happen? Ah, regarde, look.
I lift.
Ah, fille, c'est chaud. On sent que c'est chaud. Ah oui, regarde, j'ai de l'eau là. OK. C'est chaud, hein?
Oui, ça doit.
C'est 60-70 degrés. C'est comme un bain chaud.
Thé, comme un thé? Oui.
Mais ça a l'air propre, hein? Regarde.
Oui. Ben oui, parce que c'est...
Regarde. So you have to do it every once in a while, or it does it itself?
Nice weather, you don't have to do it. It's if you're coming into the garage and you don't want any water in the garage, you can hit that in the driveway before you pull it. Another good time to use it is in winter time because you don't want anything to freeze in there.
Okay.
Right? You guys have such
But
cold
let's say you don't do it. You never do it. What will happen?
the water drains out as we're driving. That's just
okay.
yeah. As we're driving down the street, it's coming out all the time. No, it's just you've got a little bit remaining in the length of the exhaust pipe. When you stop the car, there's going to be a little bit left in it. So what that does is just runs the electric fan at the front that pulls air into the fuel cell stack, runs that fan and pushes the water out of the whole system.
And it's normal that the water is up? Well,
yeah.
Warm,
yeah, the fuel cell,
it's warm.
It creates heat as it's...
Okay.
Yeah, that's totally normal.
Okay.
Yeah.
So the water regulates the temperature, or There's a closed liquid cooling system?
Yes. Yeah, just like a conventional gasoline engine, you've got a radiator with coolant in it that will cycle through and keep everything cool.
Okay, so that's why we have vents on the front.
Yeah, and it's got a radiator cap just like a gasoline engine will.
Okay. So we use those vents. Okay, I see. Okay.
Yeah, so just like radiator, just like a gasoline engine.
Okay.
To keep everything cool, and you can see your water piping here through the fuel cell, back through the filter, and then back in.
Okay. Of course, there's no oil change. There's no. What's the maintenance?
Maybe your filters are maintenance. So this is a filter for the fuel cell stack cooling. That is 30,000 miles or 3 years. That needs to be changed. And then of course your air filter, because you're pumping air through the fuel cell stack. So you got to keep that clean because you're picking up road dust.
Yeah, and I guess you have to check the coolant level.
Yeah. Now
that's about it.
There is not maintenance but service checkups. Jean Paul would be another one just to double check with. I don't know what they have them scheduled as, just to make sure everything is in check.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Thank you. I hope you guys enjoyed.
Yeah. Thanks.
Thank you. Very interesting.